Well, Raider Nation, the sun is about to set. And I think a few of us in the Raider Nation owe Josh Jacobs an apology, including myself. And here's why. So I just read a couple of different articles in regards to how the entire transaction between the Tom Telesco and his team with the Raiders and Josh Jacobs' camp went. And to be honest, I am 100% now understanding why Tom Telesco got fired. Now, this came to my attention, and I knew a part of the story already, and I already reported on a part of the story when all of this went down. But more of the story has come out, and this came to my attention from the GOAT's Instagram feed, came across my feed, and he was talking about this. And so I dove deeper into it, and let me just tell you, Josh Jacobs wanted to stay as Raider. He wanted to stay his entire career as a Raider, and he was willing to take less money to stay as a Raider. And here's what happened. Tom Telesco, who we have all known, has been the guy who refuses to pay running backs and believes that he can get 1,000+ yards out of a committee of cheap running backs. And it didn't work for the Chargers, and it clearly did not work for the Raiders last year. And as more of these details have come out about the fact that Tom Telesco was not even willing to have a simple negotiation, not even engage in a conversation, let alone a negotiation with Josh Jacobs' camp, and had zero plan whatsoever to replace Josh Jacobs with somebody of equal caliber, is very telling. And I believe that the fact that we had one of the worst rush offenses in the NFL last year was part and parcel due to the reasoning of why Mark Davis let him go. Now, there's some other interesting news that has come out that I didn't really know about, and maybe you've heard about it. If you have, drop a comment, let me know where you guys heard about it. But it wasn't just the issue with the Raiders. We knew that there were several teams that were interested in Josh Jacobs because even though he had what would some consider a down year, plus the injury, all of that stuff, the year before, he was the leading rusher in the NFL. The dude is uber talented, and you definitely, when you lose him, it hurts. And so other teams were looking at him and saying, yeah, Josh Jacobs, you look great in our jersey. Everywhere from the Jags to the Giants to the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is the part of the story to me that makes me feel warm and fuzzy all over about Josh Jacobs now. And why I'm going to look straight at the camera. And if Josh Jacobs, if you watch this, I apologize to you, man to man, for making a video, and I think it was a live stream, where I was upset with you because when you left, and I understood, I wasn't mad that you left, but when you left, it seemed like you kind of didn't care about the fans too much. In fact, you were arguing with the fans on social media and dismissing our feelings and stuff. And, there wasn't a grand goodbye. There wasn't an appreciation to the fans who bought your jerseys and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, I still hold that view. I still think that you could have done that better. At the same time, I felt like you were doing this all for the money, and that's where your motivation was, and that's why I apologize, because clearly, when you are willing to accept less money to stay with the Raiders, and you are willing to turn down the hated Kansas City Chiefs, the rivals of the Las Vegas Raiders, simply because they were the Raiders' rival, and you could not see yourself wearing that color after starting your entire career as a Raider, and you love the Raiders so much that you could never disrespect the Raiders by going to the Chiefs, unlike some other people who've done that in the past, including guys who are in the Hall of Fame. To me, that means something. To me and to all of Raider Nation, we should all take a second look at Josh Jacobs' legacy and be grateful that even though he went to Green Bay, he refused to go to the Chiefs, knowing that if he went to the Chiefs, he'd get the money he was asking for. Apparently, they were willing to give it to him. And more than likely end up with the Super Bowl. The fact that you turned that down simply out of respect to the silver and black shield means something to me. And it should mean to all of us viewers that are watching this, or all of my viewers that are watching this right now, we should all reevaluate Josh Jacobs. And I know that there was a lot of anger about him leaving. I know there was a lot of anger about Davante Adams leaving. And I think, Davante was clearly chasing what he thought was going to be a championship team with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Didn't turn out that way. I don't think that was the motivation for Josh Jacobs now. Obviously chasing a championship, everybody's doing that. But it was more about, hey, I just want to win. And I'm willing to take less money to do it in the silver and black. And Tom Telesco just dumped and poo-pooed all over that and didn't handle it well. And that's why he's no longer the GM for the Raiders. He was one and done. And will probably never be a GM in the NFL again. Guys, I want to read some comments. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to drop comments, and I want you to tell me and Raider Nation, and maybe Josh Jacobs, if he sees this video and reads through these comments, about now that you know that Josh Jacobs was offered the money he was asking for by the Chiefs, most likely would have a Super Bowl ring if he went and joined them. The fact that he turned down the Kansas City Chiefs out of loyalty to the Raiders and not wanting to disrespect the Shield by going to a rival and then having to play us twice a year on a dominant team in our conference, that he just could not bring himself to do that. Despite the fact that he absolutely wants to play in a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl and have a Super Bowl ring, he chose not to. How does that make you feel about Josh now? Has that changed your mind if you were upset, if you were mad at him, or do you still feel the same way? If Josh Jacobs, when he's done in Green Bay, says, I want to finish my career in the silver and black, would you have him back? Let me know down in the comments below. Guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button on your way out the door. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.